$5 a month, you can become what we're calling an insider and get access to it. I'm excited to use this private feed to do all sorts of things just for our insiders, such as early released episodes, commercial and ad-free listening, and most important of all, insider exclusive episodes. Our first insider bonus episodes are already waiting for you on the insider private feed. I will be uploading 2 new and exclusive episodes for insiders only every month. I'm super excited about this, not only because it'll give me an avenue for creating even more episodes, which I've been waiting to do for a long time, but because it'll give you all a way to support the show and make it even better. If you'd like to become a One Last Thought insider, you can click the link in the show notes of the podcast app of your choice or go to glow.fm/OLT insider. From there, it is easy to join in just a few clicks on your phone, and you can choose the podcast player of your choice to get your insider access on. See all of you insiders soon. Until then, stay inspired.
Please subscribe and share.
The idea of reacting to something that happens negatively is not the right thing. Believe me, I've tried it, and I've tried to handle grief in every way but the healthy way.
Welcome to the One Last Thought podcast, bite-sized wisdom and leadership lessons where people aim to answer one simple question. If there is one life lesson you would want to pass on to the next generation, what would it be? I'm your host, Ido Singer. I come from the world of professional basketball and am currently a Division I college basketball coach who believes that your time is valuable. This is why I've created these short leadership lessons you can learn from in under 10 minutes, utilizing the thoughts and wisdom of some of the best leaders I know. We have 2 great leaders sharing their thoughts with you today. Tisha Marie Pelletier is a serial entrepreneur, author, speaker, business mentor, and social connector. Randy Brown is a basketball coach and mentor, an author, national speaker, clinician, and skill instructor. Let's dive right in.
The one thing that I can say, the one thing that I stand behind is that, there are going to be people in your life as you go through, and they don't have the nicest things to say. They will make it their mission to tear you down, to bring you down, to talk about you, to make sure that you don't get where you want to go in life. And it honestly is out of pure spite, jealousy, whatever their insecurities are. It has nothing to do with you.
The thought of scarred but smarter. No one is exempt from adversity. And for the young people listening, especially you haven't hit a lot of adversity yet. There hasn't been a lot of pain in your life, grief, but there's going to be.
So the best advice I've been given is to take the high road. And it's something that I do in my life every day.
It's not what adversity, it's not how many different things you've had to work through and be faced with, and it's not the severity of your adversity.
There have been definitely some challenges in life and in business where I haven't been around the nicest crowd, the type of people that I want to be around, and that's okay because challenges are always going to present themselves. But it really is up to you of how you handle that circumstance.
Because we know the pain, grief, adversity, the disappointment, the hurt, the betrayal, and eventually, the death of people that we know and love are going to happen. It's part of our world. But so important is understanding the growth that may come and a life where you can continually learn if you handle adversity correctly. And that's where the idea of scarred but smarter comes from.
You can sink to that level and be petty and destroy your reputation, which, by the way, is the only thing you've got in this life, is your reputation to stand on, and it better be good. Or you can brush it off, shake it off, like Taylor Swift says, right? Shake it off, get back up, and don't even pay attention to that noise, but to keep moving forward, keep staying in your lane, keep surrounding yourself with the people that actually are taking notice of you and actually matter.
There is no automatic strength and benefit and positive impact in your life that happens just because you face things that are difficult. That's a misnomer.
Just distance yourself from the people that keep trying to bring you down.
Because in the throes of adversity, we all have a choice as to whether we're going to react and possibly do something that is against what we believe and maybe something that ends up being destructive, or we can step back, be very thoughtful, and respond to the adversity.
I remember in my life someone telling me that this was as good as it gets, or another situation where a person told me I'd never get there. And you know what? Things happened. I started moving in the right direction, and they did happen.
In the middle of grief, it's really difficult to think straight, let alone do the right thing. And I've been there, and you're going to be there. But stepping back and putting things in perspective and not doing them on your own. Grief, adversity, these things have got to be done in teams, in small groups, in partnerships. Okay? You and one other person is really where it starts.
So don't let those voices, that negativity, those bad vibes bring you down in whatever you're doing in life, whether you're in school, whether you're in business for yourself, whether you're working for a company. There will always be those people. Take the high road.
The idea of reacting to something that happens negatively is not the right thing. Believe me, I've tried it, and I've tried to handle grief in every way but the healthy way.
One of the greatest messages I saw is that people will come into your life for a few different reasons. They're either there to teach you, to test you, or to bring out the best in you.
The unhealthy attack and looking for a solution to adversity can end up in addiction. It can end up in prison. It can end up coming out in a lot of different ways.
So it's a great reminder to surround yourself with people who are just like you, like-minded, who challenge you, who inspire you, and not the people that bring you down, that test you and use you.
We want you to become tougher, more compassionate, more resilient, full of more perspective with each adversity that you hit. And hopefully, when you do, you'll become scarred but smarter.
That's my last thought for you. Take the high road, believe in yourself, keep moving forward, and don't let that noise bother you. You're better than that.
This was episode 52 of the One Last Thought podcast. I want to thank my guests, Tisha Marie Pelletier and Randy Brown. It's time for the One Last Thought review of the day, and this one comes from Kiwi Fruit 1212, who says, "Bite-sized wisdom. This podcast brings you advice and inspiration from all kinds of leaders, shared in their own words and voices. This is a very creative idea for a podcast and is well produced and curated. It's fun to listen to, and you will definitely learn something new in each episode." Well, thank you for the kind words, Kiwi Fruit, which is one of our favorite things to eat here in the Singer family, just FYI. And I'm glad you like the format. Next to quality of guests, it is my favorite thing about this show. So hit me up on Twitter at OneLastThoughtPod and let me know what your favorite episode was. I'm just a curious guy. For the rest of you, again, if you want to be featured on the next episode, all you have to do is drop a review and rating on either Apple Podcast or Castbox, and I will pick one to be featured on the next episode. If you'd like to find some exclusive offers, giveaways, and opportunities to further connect with the guests you've heard on this episode, please check out the show notes. You never know what goodies our guests may have waiting for you there. Please support our guests by connecting with them directly through those links. They're waiting to hear from you. You can find us online at One Last Thought Pod on everything. I want to thank you, the listeners. If you're still listening to this, you're obviously invested in this journey, so why not spend a minute, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating, and maybe even leave a review. I couldn't begin to explain how much that would mean to me and to the continuation of this show. Thank you for listening, and until next time, stay inspired.